So 2025 is coming very soon, and everyone is kind of stressing out, trying to think about how to become the best version of themselves. And with that in mind, I wanted to share some brutal advice with you based on the experiences that I've had throughout my life to help you finally make progress, grow, become the woman that you want to be, and spend a year that is actually different from the others, where you don't feel like you've wasted your time and potential. If you're new here, my name is Sumaya. I'm the founder of The Healed Sister, which is a 6-figure business, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. And I'm a personal development coach as well as a business mentor. What I do is help Muslim women grow personally, as well as train them to become certified life coaches, and also support them in growing their coaching business. Now that you know who I am, let's get straight into it. The first thing that you need to hear before 2025 starts is that you are your worst enemy. It's not your neighbor, it's not your family, it's not shaitan, it is you, your nafs, your inner voice that's telling you that you don't deserve good things, that you're never good enough. The inner critic within you that's telling you that whatever you want to put out there is not worth anyone's time, that you suck, that you're not creative, that you're not a good mom, a good daughter, a good wife, whatever it is that you're telling yourself, you probably are the worst friend to yourself at the moment. And you need to recognize that before you're able to change it. Self-awareness is really important. And if you're watching my content and if you're interested in the things that I put out there, you probably already know this. You probably have that feeling that the main obstacle in your life right now is yourself. Now, it's one thing to recognize that, and it's another thing to do something about it. And I think the difference between someone who ends up being successful in life, and when we talk about success as Muslims, we don't necessarily talk about worldly gain. We talk about spiritual success. We talk about self-actualization. We talk about being of benefit to the community. So think about that when I'm talking about success, okay? The difference between someone who's successful and someone who isn't is that the person who's successful has realized that they can be the main obstacle to themselves in this life, and they do something about it. Challenge that I have for you today to start with is to ask yourself, what am I actually doing to not be an obstacle to my growth anymore? To not stop myself from reaching my goals anymore? To not be my worst enemy when it comes to my spiritual goals, my financial goals, my professional goals? Are you doing something about it? Or you're just consuming content mindlessly, thinking that that eventually will change your life? So you are your worst enemy, and the truth is you need help. You need support to not be that to yourself anymore. We all do. I've been supported and coached for the past 3 years, alhamdulillah, and that's what has made a major difference in my life. Before that, I was a loser. I was burnt out and completely depressed and broke on top of that. I was making money, but I was not making money at the same time because I was spending it in reckless ways. I didn't know how to hold on to it. I did not know how to receive. I was my worst enemy. Once you understand that in order to change, you need to take action and not just learn more about yourself and your weaknesses, it's a game changer. So what are you doing about the fact that you are your biggest obstacle in life at the moment? Do something about it. Seek help. Don't just consume content about personal development and spirituality without actually implementing anything that you're learning. Get someone to hold you accountable. The second thing that you need to hear before the new year starts is that you will never reach your full potential until you stop caring about what irrelevant people think about you. The key word in this sentence being irrelevant people. Because I don't believe that we should stop thinking about what people think about us completely. There are people out there who want the best for us. This could be your parents, it could be your mentors, it could be your teachers, it could be your imam, I don't know. But there are people out there who believe in you and who are able to see your blind spots and who will hold you accountable in a positive way, and you need those people around you. Don't become so arrogant that you do not care about what anyone says about you and what you're doing. Have good friends around you that you can actually listen to when it comes to your behavior and the things that you might not be right about. However, there are people in your life who are irrelevant to you, to your success, to your growth, but that you still think about a little bit too much and you consider their opinion a bit too much. Those are people who themselves are not successful. They don't have good intentions. They don't have your well-being at heart. Like, it's none of their business whether you're successful or not. In fact, they might be envious or jealous, or these people don't even know you and don't even care about you, but you care a lot about what they might be thinking about you. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because I know so many women who are stopping themselves from doing amazing things just because they're thinking about what will people say. And just the thought of that is crazy, because you're stopping yourself from putting your gifts out there in the world, from helping people, from starting a business, from changing career, just because of what some people will say. And those people are not close to you. They're not paying your rent. They're not contributing to your life whatsoever. You might not even know those people. You just have created this concept of people out there are going to judge me, or people out there are going to think I'm crazy or cringe. And just because of that concept in your head, you're stopping yourself. And the funny thing is that most people don't actually care that much about you. There's this thing in psychology called the spotlight effect, which is a concept that describes this idea that we have that people are staring at us, that people are interested in what we're doing, that people are going to judge us. And everyone has a little bit of that within them. Like, we all think that we're more important than what we actually are. But the truth is, we are not. You could put yourself out there tomorrow and no one would notice until you become big enough that you get cancelled for doing something wrong. But at the moment, you're not big enough for that to happen. So do the damn thing that's going to lead you to actually feeling like you're living your purpose. Put yourself out there, start the business, start the coaching, post content, create a channel, start a vlog, start a blog, whatever it is that you want to do, just do it, because the people who will talk about you and who don't actually have a say in what you do and who you are can talk about you, and it's not going to change anything to your life. Like, I know that right now there's probably people from my past watching my content and thinking, oh my god, she's so cringe, she's so that, she's so this. So what? Alhamdulillah, I'm still making 5 figures per month. I'm still living the life that I want to live. I'm still supporting my family financially. I'm still building my dreams. Why would that stop me? As long as I feel content and fulfilled with what I'm doing. So are you ready to miss out on living a fulfilled and purposeful life just because of your fear of what some people would say about you? That's ridiculous. It's absolutely bonkers. You shouldn't even think about that. So remove that from your life. Remove that from your head. Have a circle of people that you trust around you, that you will take into consideration their opinion. And for the rest, don't even ask yourself, what are they going to think? It should not matter. And this leads me to the next point, the third advice that you need to hear. The quality of your life will depend on the quality of the questions that you ask yourself. A lot of my clients, when they come up to me, the main issue that they have is not their environment, is not their financial situation, it's not external factors. It's the inner dialogue that they have. And that inner dialogue is made of a lot of useless questions. Like, why is this happening to me? Am I good enough? Who am I really? And those questions, instead of helping them grow and make progress in life, are stopping them. They're blocking them. Because they're questions that are not actually Good quality questions. Why did this happen to me, Ya Allah? Why me? Are you going to be able to have an answer to that question? No. So what's the point of dwelling on that and letting it lead you to a dark place where you start remembering all of the horrible things that have happened to you? Like that time where you got rejected by your crush in kindergarten. Why did that happen to me as well? What's the point of thinking about these questions that are not taking you anywhere? A better question to ask yourself when you're feeling like asking yourself, why me? Is actually, what did I learn from this negative experience? Like, what am I learning right now? And what do I want to do about it with those lessons that I'm taking away? What positive impact did this struggle have on me? Which is a very tough question to ask yourself in a moment of difficulty, but this is what will make you someone who's resilient instead of someone who's just complaining, ungrateful with Allah's decree. Which one do you want to be? The prophets had to go through literally all sorts of struggles and tests. And what made them special in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was the fact that they were content with Allah's decree. And they used it in their advantage to become better and to get closer to Him. And we can also do that by asking ourselves the right questions. A better question than who even am I? Like, I don't even know who am I. Is what can I do to discover who I am? Like, feeling stuck and feeling like you don't know who you are is not that big of a deal. But not doing something about it is the problem. So ask yourself a useful and quality question. What can I do about this? How can I go on a quest of discovering myself? The quality of your life will depend on the quality of the questions that you ask yourself. And that's why journaling and meditation can be really, really powerful tools until you upgrade to actually having a coach or a mentor who can ask you those powerful questions. Tip number 4 that you need to hear about is the fact that perfect balance in this life is actually a myth. As someone who does a lot of different things, like I have my business, which means that I'm leading a team. I try to study the deen as much as possible. I'm currently studying Arabic. I have a daughter. I'm a wife as well. And I'm a daughter myself to my parents, alhamdulillah, and I'm a sister and a friend. Trying to aim for perfect balance in my day-to-day life is impossible. Like, I can't have a week where I'm able to prioritize my work, my spirituality, my job, my studies, my well-being, my kids, my husband, my family equally. It's just not possible. And trying to do that and then guilt-tripping myself because I can't do it is also stupid. Because I'm setting myself up for failure and I'm having unrealistic expectations of myself that I know I won't be able to reach. And if you do that to yourself as well, you're really harming yourself. Even if we live in a society where we're constantly watching people who seem like they're doing better than us, and it leads us to think that we, on the other hand, are not doing really well with our balance and productivity and all of that. You have to remember that those people that you're looking at on your screen also have their struggles. And their life is not perfect, and they don't have the perfect balance either. And I'm saying this to women especially because I know 92% of you who are watching me are women, alhamdulillah. When you learn to be kinder with yourself, with your expectations, your life becomes suddenly so much easier because you're not constantly trying to reach this unrealistic ideal, and you're not putting yourself down anymore, and you're not feeling that frustration of, I'm not getting where I want to be. Well, the question here is that place where you think you should be even real? Does it even exist? Can you reevaluate your expectation when it comes to balance and schedule? Can you look at yourself and the way that you function and actually create a schedule that works for you and your family instead of something that you've copy-pasted from someone else online that has a completely different environment from you, a different temperament from you, a different personality. And that's why self-knowledge is so important. So if you want to do something about this, actually, just observe yourself the next week. Like, notice how you spend your time, what feels more organic and natural to you in terms of activities and at what time. And then the week after that, sit down, reflect on the past week that you've just had, and start thinking about what activity should be done at what time, based on your levels of productivity in the morning versus in the evening, based on your commitments that you can't get away from, based on the things that you have going on in your life, and create a schedule that matches that. Not a schedule that is based on this unrealistic idea that we have of what a woman should be doing on a weekly basis nowadays. And this leads me to advice number 5, which is that there is no happier destination in this life. Fulfillment is available to you right now with what you have in your life at the moment. And the reason why I'm saying this is because one of my clients sent me a message about how dissatisfied she was with the place that she's in life at the moment and how much more she wanted for herself. And I'm sure a lot of us can relate to that. But the truth is, what you and I want, we already have in many ways. But we fail to recognize it. That's the problem. That's on us. We fail to sit down and ask ourselves, why do I actually want to make £10,000 per month? Why do I want to quit my 9 to 5? Why do I want to get my driving license? Behind those goals, there are values that you want to achieve, that you want to attain for yourself, that you want to embody for yourself. And once you've identified those values, you can actually start asking yourself, how am I already fulfilling and living those values in my life at the moment? You'll realize quickly that you are already living the life that you want to be living in some way. And if you don't learn to be content with how things are right now, you will never be content with how things are, even when you get the 10K per month, even when you're not working a 9 to 5 anymore, even when you have the dream house and the dream car. There will always be something that you're constantly chasing unless you learn to slow down and be grateful with whatever is there for you right now. Because the truth is, we're so ungrateful, subhanAllah. And Allah tells us in the Quran that we are ungrateful beings. What you have now, you once prayed for. You just don't remember it, but you really did. And this leads me to advice number 7, I think, or number 6, which is that you should never take for granted what Allah has blessed you with today. Because once upon a time, things were not that rosy. You just forgot that things were harder for you at some point, that you did not have as much as you have right now. And I'm guilty of that 100%. Like, I'm in the process of moving into a bigger house very soon, inshallah, a bigger home. And sometimes I surprise myself being ungrateful about the place that I have right now, thinking, oh, it's too small and I don't like the furniture, I want to change everything and I can't wait to get into the new place. And then I remember times where I literally did not have a place to stay. And to help me, wallahi, I'm going to share something with you that I haven't shared in a long time, actually. But I have a recording of myself crying while talking to my best friend and telling her about a studio that my daughter visited, that I was even ashamed of moving into with her, but that I couldn't even afford at that time. That studio was literally just one room where the bed was, as well as the kitchen, everything. It was just one small room that was maybe like 10 meters square feet. And I like to listen to this, and I want you to have something for yourself like that. Maybe it's a picture of you in the past at a time where you were struggling. Maybe it's a video of the place that you used to live in that was horrible. Maybe it's an old car of yours that you used to have as well, and it's a picture of it. Whatever it is, my recording that I come to when I'm feeling ungrateful is this. I told her, what did you think about the place you visited? And just picturing me and her in a studio like this and knowing that I can't offer her anything better right now. I can't even offer her that studio, you know? But I know it's just temporary, and I'm doing this work of telling myself whatever I tell my clients. Alhamdulillah. So when I listened to this, which was just like 5 years ago, I'm reminded how blessed I am, and that there's no perfect destination. Happiness, fulfillment, gratitude is available to me right now, as long as I'm capable of counting my blessings and saying Alhamdulillah for whatever I have right now. Stop chasing the next thing. Just be grateful for what you have right now. And Allah will increase you. He will give you everything that you want. Just practice that detachment from your goals, from the projects that you want to achieve. And just learn to be in the moment and to live that moment 100%. As if there was no tomorrow. And I know that sounds so cheesy. But wallahi, if you learn how to do that, a lot of your problems will dissipate. Because all we truly have is now. But we spend so much time worrying about the future or reminiscing on the past that we're incapable of making the most of the present moment. So if there's one thing that you should develop as a skill from now on, is the ability to be present in the moment. SubhanAllah. I think we have reached the last advice that I want to give you today. And it's based on one of my favorite expression that I have read in Marion Franklin's book, The Heart of Laser Focused Coaching, which is a book that I make my trainees in the Thriving Coach read. One of the best books I've read about coaching. If you want to become a coach, I highly recommend it. In this book, for some reason, I don't remember in which context, but Marion Franklin says, stop trying to buy milk at the hardware store. Meaning, when people show you that they can't fulfill your needs, no matter what type of needs they are, just stop asking them. Remove that frustration from your life by not trying to get something from someone who clearly cannot give it to you. And that's kind of related to Maya Angelou's expression, which is when people show you who they are, believe them the first time. And this way of seeing relationships has really changed my life. Because now, if someone cannot fulfill my emotional needs, I'm not going to keep on asking for those needs to be met from that person and repeatedly break my own heart. I'm just going to stop asking them and get those needs fulfilled somewhere else. And if you assess your relationships, the places where you're seeking something that you can't actually get from there, and you stop doing that, you will remove so much stress and tension from your life. I promise you. So this could be with your spouse, it could be with your friends, it could be with your family. Like a lot of us, or at least my clients, I know for sure, they grew up in environments where their parents were not very supportive. And yet, at 30 years old plus, these women are still seeking validation and support from their parents. And it's like, I get it, because you were created to have this attachment to your parents. It's natural. But for 30 years, these people have showed you that they're not going to be there for you. So why do you keep on insisting? Why do you keep on knocking on that door when no one is ever answering? Why do you keep on breaking your heart? At some point, it is your responsibility to go to the right places for support. When you were a child, you were not able to do that. But as an adult, you have the capacity to surround yourself with people who will actually fulfill your needs. That can be friends, it can be a therapist, it can be a coach, a mentor. Sky is the limit when it comes to options nowadays. It could be a community at the mosque, anything and everything. It could be a weekly coffee thingy that you go to in a community center. Just be proactive when it comes to creating the right support network for yourself, inshallah. All right. These were all the advice that I could think of to share with you in this video. Alhamdulillah, I hope this was beneficial. I just have one request from you. I was checking the stats of the channel, which is not something that I do often, but I've noticed that almost 50% of you guys are watching the content, but you're not subscribed to the content. And it would really help if you do click on that subscribe button, because it helps us promote the content to more sisters who will then benefit from it. And that would be amazing. The next thing that I do want to tell you is that we had this amazing idea. I mean, my managing director had this amazing idea. Shout out to her, Samia. I know that she watches the videos every week. So Samia, thank you so much for this idea that you had. But we want to start opening submissions of videos to be posted on the channel, and those videos will be made by you. So if you have something that you want to share with the world or with our audience, and it's something related to the topics that I've been talking about, personal development, spirituality, business, anything that you are passionate about and that you have knowledge on, then very soon, inshallah, you'll be able to submit your ideas and your videos, and we'll be posting them on this channel. The vision that I have for the Healed Sister YouTube channel is to create a place that's almost like a TV channel where several people come together and share their knowledge for the greater good of the community. And I'm really excited about seeing this come to life, because I have a lot to say, but I also know that there are amazing women out there who have so much to share, but they just don't have a platform to do it. So we want to open our platform to you to be able to do that, inshallah. There should be a form in the description box below that you can use to submit your ideas. And as usual, if you want to work with me on a one-on-one basis, I have 3 spots at the moment for that. Whether it's personal development or business, you can apply below using the application form, inshallah. If you're interested in becoming a life coach, certified, following a program that has Muslim values, you can register for the waitlist for the next cohort of the Thriving Coach. And if you are already a coach and you want to increase your revenue and you need support to do that, you can join the mastermind, inshallah. Everything is going to be in the description box below. I'm going to stop talking now because I've had enough of my own voice, and I will see you in the next video, inshallah. Ma as-salama, beautiful.